Okay, good morning, friends. We have refueled the car, and now we are going on our longest drive of around 700 kilometers. In the meantime, along the way, I'll keep on showing you the different places, as well as I'll keep on explaining you about the car. Right? So let's proceed. We have fueled up in Delhi, and the car has taken approximately 32 or 34 liters. I'll share the pictures of exact how much petrol the car has taken up. Right? Well, we have crossed Ashram, then your Pragati Maidan, ITO, and we are near Rajghat. And from the time we have refueled, we have driven around 12.7 kilometers, and the average that is currently showing is it was 21, just now dropped to 20.9. It means it has just reached up to 21, right? So let's move, and I'll keep on showing you about the car and keep on explaining about the different features. You must have, I will not explain you about the features, but I will keep you explaining about the different aspects of driving this car. That I think that you can only get to know while watching the YouTube videos, wherein some different angles are presented. Most of the people keep on explaining about the features, which I think is readily available on the brochure that is available in the showrooms or over the internet as well. So friends, we have crossed the GT Karnal bypass road, and now we are heading towards Murthal, and approximately driven around 49 kilometers from home. And since 49 kilometers since we refueled, और refueling करने के बाद अभी जो गाड़ी की एवरेज जो आ रही है, the average that we are getting right now is, you can see this, 24.5 kilometers to a liter, right? And one thing that I have cared for is that I have not taken the car beyond 2000 rpm. So if you maintain a speed up to 2000 rpm, then this is the average that you are going to get. Obviously this is a family car. This is a family car, so this is not meant to be driven hard. If you want to drive fast, drive hard, then go for some car that has got very driver friendly manners, or that is more suited, that is a driver oriented car. This car is not a driver oriented car. This car is basically your car which is meant for carrying your family in peace, enjoy the drives, enjoy the scenery. And let me tell you one thing, that what happens is, when you're driving with your family, it's not that you have to drive fast, right? The main motive is that you drive along with your family, and the more the time you give to your family, the better it is. So driving along with your family is always fun. In our day-to-day lives, I don't think that we have so much time that we can sit together for a long time with our family and enjoy something. If we are sitting at home, we'll switch on the TV and then we'll be watching the TV. If we are having dinner, then we'll be quietly sitting and having dinner. So rarely do we get a time beyond 10 to 15 minutes, or we are hardly able to spare more than 10 to 15 minutes with our family, sitting, doing nothing and just talking to each other. So while you're driving in this car, a 7-seater that you can see, the best thing is that you can sit down with your family, sit for long distance, go for a long ride. Not ride, drive. Go for a long drive, and then what you can do is that you can keep on chit chat, keep with your family, and they can keep on sharing their experience. But yes, remember to take away their mobiles. Otherwise, everybody will be so much engrossed in mobiles that they will hardly be able to talk to you, and they will be watching mobile, some Facebook reels, or watching videos, playing games. So that is not the sense that when you are traveling. See, this is my personal feeling that mobile is the biggest relationship killer. What is happening is that previously, when we did not have mobiles, we used to sit with each other, talk with each other. We used to go out and play. there was more social bonding. But now we have thousands of Facebook friends, but hardly two whom we can fall back upon when we need something or when we need some help from them, right? So if you are someone who wants to travel with a family, who cares for a family, who values a family, okay, then obviously pack many of them, move in this car, go for a long drive, enjoy, keep on talking. Okay, one more thing that I want to talk about this car is, where does this car fit into? This car is not a direct competitor of Ertiga or an XL6. This is a car that fills in the segment between Ertiga XL6 and Innova Crysta. Because why I'm saying this is because it is much more powerful. Although it has got the same 1.5 liter engine, but this is much more powerful than the Ertiga and XL6. And the driving characteristic of this car is totally different. What happens is that this car is in the first and the second gear. The gearing is really very short, and you will immediately need to upshift while you are driving. But once you reach third, fourth, fifth and sixth gear, the gearing is really very tall. And you can go down to speeds as, in third gear, you can go down to speeds as low as 10, 7 or 8. And you can go up to speeds of 50 or 50 or 60 in the third gear. So third gear has got a really tall gearing. Third gear is tall. Fourth, fifth, sixth, it is really tall. And the engine is really very silent. It is not something that makes lots of sound, lots of screeching noise or something while you are riding or while you are driving. So roll up the windows and keep on driving in silence. We have completed around 100 kilometers, not around 100, it is just exactly 100 kilometers since we did the refueling. And you can very well see what is the fuel efficiency that I am getting. And this has been on AC, wherein you can see that the AC has been turned on, and I am driving at a steady speed of around 80, 70, and I am getting an average of 23.1 for the past 100 kilometers. Now let us see, when we hit the mountains, what is the fuel efficiency that we get. So now we have completed 200 kilometers from the time we have refueled, and this is the fuel average that you can see, 23.2. And we have driven around 200 kilometers, as I told you. 23.2 on a 1.5 liter engine, that too with 100% time AC on, is something that is really worth appreciating. Well, this was about the fuel average. Now let us talk about the driving feel and all that I was talking about. If I talk about the space in the third row is pretty good. An average size adult around 5-6 can easily travel in the third row. I myself have traveled in the third row, and it was comfortable while my friend was driving. And if I talk about the AC effectiveness, then the AC is actually very effective. The reason is that all of them are roof mounted ACs. What Maruti has done is that they have moved the AC of the second row to the central console, or the third row onto one single side. So the third row passenger and the second row passenger, they will have to keep on searching for the AC vents, and then they will keep on fighting that, okay, someone wants a better cooling, someone wants a lesser cooling. But in this, what they have done is that they have mounted all the AC vents on the roof, and this despite the fact that the car has got 6 airbags. Remember, 6 airbags are standard on this Kia. They come right from the base variant. Mine is an HTE optional variant, HTEO, and this is a 1.5 petrol engine. I don't see any drop in the power while I'm trying to overtake or while I'm driving. It's pretty comfortable, it's pretty good. And if I talk about the other things, the output of the music system is also pretty decent. An average Indian would not require something more than that. That's okay. With 6 speakers, 4 on the doors and 2 tweeters on this HTE optional variant. And the car comes with standard 6 airbags. The alloys, they are company fitted. Definitely, one of the worst points of this car is the headlights. They're useless. Literally, they're useless. I don't know why. So what I did is that I upgraded the bulbs to the same specification. I didn't want to go for that white bulbs because what they do is that they don't illuminate as much. Rather than illuminating the road, I'll say that they create a glare to the oncoming traffic which blinds. It is totally useless. You should not have. The purpose of headlights are to illuminate the road, not to blind the other person who's coming from the front, right? And it is actually nuisance that, in fact, I tend to use all sorts of unparliamentary language if someone coming from the front has got all those glaring headlights. I don't like it at all, and I'm sure that all of us would be of the same view, that you do not like the headlights directly piercing your eyes. It's nonsense. It's typical nonsense. The other thing that this car does not have is in the STE optional variant, obviously the rear washer or wiper, they are not there. It's okay. That's perfectly, you get what you pay for, right? The suspensions I already talked about. It's okay. Now we have started the climb up to Shimla, and we have just crossed the toll gate. There was a huge jam right from Jirakpur till this place. There is a huge traffic jam. Everywhere there is a traffic. And in all that traffic, the average has dropped down to 19.8 kilometers per liter. Let's see how much we get by the time we reach Shimla, and if such is the condition of traffic, I don't know if we would be able to reach there. Number one. Number two, what would be the average the fuel the vehicle would be giving? I'm not very sure about it, right? But on the twisties, the car is performing really well. There is no sound from the engine that is coming, and it is performing really well. Body roll is there. Definitely this is a very high seating car, so body roll will be there for sure, right? The ground clearance is small, so body roll will be there. So we have completed 600 kilometers in one day on this car, and we are getting an average of fuel efficiency of 21. This includes a mix of city, highway, hills, everything. So a car of this size, if it is giving an average of 21, what else can you ask for, right? For us Indians, this is the biggest concern, that the vehicle that we are driving, what is the fuel efficiency that we are getting? If we don't get a good fuel efficiency, it is not a good car, right? A 7-seater giving you an average of 21 on petrol, and the unnaturally aspirated mix of highway, city and hills. I think that is great, right? Let's see what are the maintenance charges for this car. When we'll be going for the second service, I'll let you know. But as far as the market feedback goes, the service cost is not much. It is somewhere in the range of since it is free, so 3,000 to 4,000 rupees should be the maximum service cost. Or definitely if there is anything that is broken or some that needs to replacement and it is not in warranty, then obviously it will be on a chargeable basis, right? So I have reached back home, and the total fuel efficiency that I got was 21.1 kilometers to a liter on a distance of 625.6 kilometers. That I did right from morning till evening. Well, this is since last reset, and this is since refueling. I got an average of 22.8, and if I talk about the overall trip, this is not the trip. Okay, so 21.1 kilometers to a liter of petrol. That is showing on the MID. Even if I reduce it, still it is 20, and 20 is in by any means not a mean feat, right? So this is a great fuel efficiency that I got from my car. I think that a car of this size, a car of this weight, giving an average of around 21.1 as per the MID, and even if I reduce it by 1 kilometers, it is 20. So 20 is a very good number, right? So fuel efficiency is not a matter of concern for this car. This car is really very capable, and it can do anything, carry your family from point A to point B and do all the different things, right? So this is your host Sushant, signing off on a good note. This is the car. Thank you very much for watching, and please do share and subscribe to my channel for many such travelogues which I'll be undertaking on this car, as well as the review of this car. I think that this is a pretty good one. Everyone would agree to it, and before buying an Ertiga or XL6, you would definitely give this Kia Carens Clavis a thought. Thank you very much, and see you again.